Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel 3 So in today's video, I'm going to do a new 3D model of this part. Right now on your screen, you can see that this is actually a phone stand for a tripod. Actually, this part on my tripod was broke, so I tried to replace it with a 3D printed part. So I had 3D modeled this part inside Autodesk Fusion 360, and then I had 3D printed this part on my desktop 3D printer, that is Tevo Tarantula. And right now you can see on the screen that this is the final product after printing that I had started using it now. So what I thought that why don't I share this complete modeling process with you guys. So that's why here I am here on this video today. So if you want to learn how you can model such kind of things, also I will share the right process, right way to do such kind of modeling. So to minimize the number of processes, the number of steps. So let's get started. So guys, here you can see I had just opened my Fusion 360 here. Right now we are inside Autodesk Fusion 360, and whenever you will first launch your Fusion 360, you will get this screen where by default drawing design page will be open here with the name untitled. The first thing we have to do is we have to rename this file with a new name, and we have to save this file inside our data panel on the right location. So what I will do, I will go to home, then we have this YouTube folder here. I will go inside that YouTube project folder, then I will click on save here to save my file with the right file name. So I will just give it a name. I will write it phone stand. Here you can see, then I will click on save here to save my file, and the moment here you can see the file has been saved here inside my uh, correct project folder. Here you can see uh, now I will close this data panel from here, and I am ready to get started modeling. So there are few things that we have to first ensure before starting any kind of 3D modeling. So the first thing is we have to make sure that our units are correct. So I will go over here on the document setting. I will expand it from here, and here you can see right now my units is millimeter. So it is correct now. If you want to change it, then you can click on here, then you can select the right system of units for your 3D modeling process. For now it is good, so I will just ignore this. Then I will make sure that my design history is turned on. So to make sure your design history is turned on or off, so here at the bottom here you can see this panel, this play button, forward button. This shows that my design history is turned on, so I don't have to worry about that. If this panel is not showing here, what you have to do is just make a right click on the top label here, and you can click on here to capture your design history. Since it is turned on right now, that's why it is giving me an option to do not capture design history. So these two things are really important, that make sure that your unit is correct, and the next thing is that your design history is turned on. Okay, so now we are ready to start our 3D modeling. So the first thing that we are going to create is first we are going to 3D model dummy phone model. So we'll able to create a phone stand around that model. So to do so, we'll go on to create a new component from here. So just go on to here on the create panel, then click on this new component, and we'll give it a name of dummy phone. So I will just write phone dummy, and we'll press OK. So here you can see the component has been created. So inside this component I will start modeling, and by default at the moment I had created the component, here you can see instead of this top label assembly selected, this one is active right now. So we have to make sure that whenever you are making component, that must be active. So whatever the modeling or sketching task you are doing will go inside that component only. So right now our this phone dummy component is active, so we'll create a sketch inside that. We'll click on this create a sketch option from here, then I will select the plane. I want to create a sketch on this plane, so I will left click on this plane. So here you can see the plane is active, also our sketch tools are active. So the first sketch that we are going to create is a rectangle. So inside this rectangle we had this center rectangle. So this is one we are going to create. So we'll click on that, and we'll select the center, and we'll drag outside like this. So here you can see we had created a rectangle. We are not sure about the size of this rectangle right now. So to To correct the size, we'll select the sketch dimension from here. You can activate this tool from here. Also you can use keyboard shortcut D on your keyboard to activate your tool. Here you can see. Then I will select the line that I want to dimension. I will drag outside like this. Then I will dimension this part, this sketch, this rectangle as 160, and the other side I will dimension that at 75. Here you can see, and I will press enter to accept the dimensions. Here you can see I had created two I had defined this rectangle by 160 and 75, and if I expand this from here, here you can see inside my dummy component there is sketch folder has been created, and inside this sketch folder this is my sketch one that we had created right now. And the yellow icon here on the sketch, it shows that the sketch is fully defined. Fully defined means there are since it's a 2D sketch, so just two measurements are needed to fully define this sketch. So we had provided those measurements, so that's why it is saying me that the sketch is fully defined. And now I can just click on finish the sketch from here, since we are done with the sketching part. And the next thing is that we want to convert that to 3D model, right? So to convert that this part to 3D model, what we are going to do is we are going to extrude this part by using this extrude tool. So we'll activate this tool, and by default this profile has been selected. We'll just orbit this a little bit. You can orbit this part by using this orbit tool. Just activate the orbit tool and you can just orbit it like that. Then what I will do, I will come over here on the extrude toolbar, since the tool is active right now, and I will select here as I want symmetric kind of direction. I want to extrude this sketch on both the directions symmetrically, so that's why I had made it like that. Then I will provide the dimension. So if I will write 5 here, so it will be extruded on both directions by 5 millimeters, so the total will be 10 millimeter thick. So I'm happy with that. So I will click OK from here. Here you can see the phone dummy has been created, but we need it like the corners not as sharp, we need the corners as filleted. So we'll apply the fillet tool and we'll make the corners fillet. So for that we'll activate the fillet tool from here. Here you can see I had activated the fillet tool. Then I will select all the edges that I want to fillet. So I want to fillet these four corners by 5 millimeters. So I had selected all the four corners, four edges. Here you can see I will just write 5 here, and then I will click on this plus selection and I will select the another set of edges, these 8 edges. Here you can see I am selecting all the edges. If you are not able to select the edges, you can orbit your object and select it again. Okay, so you can see I had selected 8 edges for which I want to provide a fillet of 3 millimeters. So here it is, and I will press OK. So here you can see this is my phone dummy model that I had created, and around which we are going to create our phone stand. So the phone dummy is finished for now. So we'll activate the top level assembly from here. Now I will create a new component. So whatever the new components will create will come inside this one. So now I will write phone stand. So here is the new component that I had created. So here you can see this is completely outside this phone dummy, and it's inside this phone stand, the top level assembly file, top level design file. Here you can see. So what we are going to do is now we are going to create few more sketches for now. So we'll activate the sketch tool from here. We'll select this plane as a sketch plane for now, this plane. So I will just activate this sketch plane. So here you can see this is my phone dummy model that is not 100% visible. It is looking like a wireframe model. So this we can use as a reference for our modeling. So the next thing what we are going to do is we'll project few of the sketches from this phone dummy model. This we can do is like we can go to create option here, then we can go to project and then click on this project here, and here you can see the project geometry tool is activated. Then I can select the geometries that I want to project. So I want to project these geometries. Okay, so here you can see these are the geometries that I want to project. So I had clicked on that, then I will click on OK to project those geometry. So if I turn off my phone dummy model, here you can see these are the sketches I had projected from phone dummy model. So the next thing that we want it little bit offset from this sketch. I want to make an offset sketch from this part. So for that I can activate my offset tool from here. Then I will select the sketches and then I will define the offset distance. So I will just write minus 0.5 millimeter and will press OK. So here you can see I will make another offset from here. Again the same sketch I will select and I will offset it by let me offset it by a little amount. Let me decide what amount will be the best. So I think the 3 mm will be sufficient. So I will just write 3.5 millimeter here, and here it is. Here it is the sketch that we had created. So the next thing that we have to close down this sketch. So we'll activate the line tool from here and we'll close this like this. Here you can see, and in this direction we'll close somewhere here like this. So we are not sure about the dimensions right now, but we are going to provide the dimensions like what is the length on the left side we want to keep. So that we want to keep just 40 millimeters. So we'll activate the dimension tool, we'll select this one, and then top we want to keep it as a 40. So we'll make it 40 like this. Now what we can do, we'll just leave it like this and then we'll click on this finish sketch from here. Here you can see this sketch has been created. Now inside this sketch we are going to extrude it by a particular distance. So that distance will be 5 millimeter. So now we are going to extrude this one. So we'll activate the extrude tool from here. Here you can see by default the closest sketch is selected. We'll extrude this by 5 millimeter like this. Here you can see, and we'll click on OK. So here you can see this sketch has been created. If I show you my model, I have the basic sketch, right? So this has been created. If I turn on my phone dummy, it is around around our phone like this, right? So this way we had created this part. So the next thing what we have to do is we'll move this part little bit side. So we'll select the component from here, we'll go on to this move tool and we'll drag this part little bit towards right or left, wherever it is. So I will move it by 30 millimeters like this and we'll press OK. Here you can see, and I will click on here to capture position. So it will be there on a particular position. So here you can see, and what I will do, I will again select the part and I will go on here to create, and then I will mirror this part, the same part, using by using the reference origin. For that what we have to do, we have to activate the top level assembly, then we can select the component, then go on to create and mirror the part, and then we'll here you can see the object has been already selected, and I just have to define the mirror plane. So here you can see I had selected the mirror plane and I had selected the plane, and this way I had mirrored both the parts, right? So this is how I had created the top portion of this phone stand part. So now we'll move on to the next part, that is creating the base. So to create a base, where we can start with the base of this thing. So before that what I want to do is there is a portion behind this part. Here you can see this to fix the rubbers, to attach the rubber bands around that. So this portion that this we have to make here first now. So to do so, what we'll go back to our Fusion 360, we'll go back to our we'll drag this cursor one step back, so somewhere here. Okay, so we are back into the history of our design. Here you can see we had just dragged this cursor 2 steps back to make some changes on this component. So since we want to make change to this component, the first thing that we have to activate this component. Okay, and once the component has been activated, then we can click on create a sketch from here, then we can select the plane on which we want to create a sketch, and then we can just simply create that sketch. Here you can see how easy it is. We are just creating the sketch, and then we'll define this sketch. So this one is 2 millimeters and this one is 3 millimeters. So all these measurements I am assuming based on my 3D printing requirements. So I want this part to be a little bit sturdy because it is going to hold my phone. So based on that I am deciding those measurements. So here you can see, and I will provide this one as 45 degree, because the minimum angle that you can 3D print is 45 degree overhang part for the overhang parts. So this way, here you can see I defined all the parts right now, so I can just click on this finish sketch over here, and I will orbit it a little bit to view it in a 3D view, and then I will use my extrude tool and I will extrude this portion up to this face. Here you can see the part has been, I will keep this operation here as a join, since I want to join this part as with this component. So I will click OK. Here you can see the part has been joined. The next thing is that we have to apply few fillets here. So we'll activate the fillet tool from here and we'll select the edges on which we want to fillet. So I will just apply a fillet of 2 millimeters here, or maybe 1 millimeter is enough, and we'll click on this plus section here, and I will also apply fillets on these inside edges, because I don't want to keep anything to be very sharp. So I will just make it 0.5 here, and here you can see I had applied all the right fillets, and I will click OK. So here you can see this part has been designed. What we can do now is we can go back to our main top level assembly file, top level design file, and I will activate that, and then I will drag this to back. So here you can see why we did drag this to back, because whatever the changes we had made in one component, that is uh, already reflected here on the other component as well, and that saved our lots of time. So here you can see this was the top part, these two top parts that we had designed very easily inside Fusion 360 right now, and it was very easy. And to look more better, if you want to look if you want these parts to look uh, good in colors, then what you can do, you can just activate your component color cycling tool from here. So your different components will look with a different colors, so this will be easy for you to visualize the things, right? So this way we can do. If you don't want it, you can just go back again and just turn it off like this. So I will just keep it turned on, because this way it looks more kind of interesting. So here we are. So the next part that we have to do right now is this base part, right? This base part, that is a one assembly part, one single assembly part. So this is what we are going to do now. For that, what we can do is we'll just first create a new component here. We'll click on the new component and we'll rename this component as phone stand part 2. I will just write it part 3, because part 2 is the one part and 2 part, then this one, the base, is the part 3. So I will just click on OK here. Here you can see the part 3 has been created. So I will just rename this one as part 2, because it is written here as mirror right now. So here you can see, and the moment I had created the part 3, and we are on the right position, because it's all the 3 parts are inside the main design top level. Here you can see, and the part 3 is also activated, so we are ready to start creating our part 3, right? So we'll just go on and select the plane on which we want to create our first sketch. So we'll activate the sketch tool, and then I will select this plane, the bottom of this component, as a sketch plane. I will click on here. Here you can see the plane has been activated. So I will orbit little bit, so we'll able to see it in a better view. So what we are going to do is we are going to project this plane on the sketch plane. So for that, we'll use the same process. We'll go on to create here, then we'll click on the project from here. That we can also activate by using our keyboard, by keyboard shortcut P. So also you can activate it from the create panel. So I will select this sketch that I want to project on the plane, and I will click OK. I will also select this one. I want both of them to be projected, so I will click OK. Here you can see the one has been projected but other has been not. So again we'll go on to here and we'll activate the project tool. We'll select the plane and we'll press OK. So here you can see both the sketches has been projected, right? What I will do, I will turn off the rest of the things, so the sketches will be visible only, and we'll go on to that plane. And the next thing, that this is the sketch profile of the part 1, and this is the sketch profile of the part 2. So what we are going to do is we are going to offset this part, because we want this, if you see the design here, we want this part to be fit inside this part. It will go up and down inside this part, so it must be sliding inside this part. So for that we need some tolerance. So for that we'll use the tolerance of 0.5 millimeters. So on the both sides we are going to use a tolerance of 0.5 millimeters. So for that we are using the offset tools to create a tolerance of 0.5. And the next thing that we'll apply the thickness of that part, so that we're going to create it as 2.5. So the thickness is 2 millimeters since the offset is 0.5 here already. So this way we can create the thickness. Here you can see 2.5. Here it is. So this is how we had created. Then we'll click on this finish sketch from here, and we'll turn on our rest of the parts like this. And here we are, our sketch is ready. So now we can extrude that sketch. We can select those profiles, both the profiles, and we can drag it like this towards bottom. Here you can see we are going to go to the right here, and we'll see we just want to go up to the phone. So I think 40 will be a good dimension to keep. So I will just keep it as a 40 millimeters. So not 40, just make it 45 will be, I think will be good. So I had just made it 45 since this part is also going to slide inside that. So we are keeping that maybe 5 millimeter or 4 millimeter will remain inside that. So we can make it 47 also. So we'll make it 47 and we'll press OK. So this is the part that is going to slide inside this. And the next thing that we needed is the same thing that we had created over here on these parts, but in opposite direction. So we'll able to apply the rubber band around that. So here you can see we had applied the rubber band around that, so that we can create using the same process. We'll activate the create a sketch from here. We'll select the plane, this plane. We are going to select this plane. Here you can see the plane has been selected, and then again we'll create that kind of a sketch, but this time it will be in little opposite direction. Here you can see we'll apply the position of this thing, and the same manner we'll try to maintain those things, whatever the measurements we had uh, followed in the top level. The other parts that we are going to follow the same thing. So for here I'm just doing little faster things because I think that you got the process, the same process that we are following here. So that's why I'm just uh, keeping this little bit faster. Here you can see I had made this one 15, then this one as 5 millimeter, and we'll click on this finish sketch. Here you can see, and we'll click on this extrude option from here. We'll select the profile, then we'll select the other plane up to which I want to extrude. So here you can see this has been extruded, and we'll click on, instead of join, what we can do, we can just click it as a new body here for now, and we'll click OK. And what we are going to do right now is we'll select this. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to mirror this design on the other part. So for that we can just go on create here, and then we'll select the mirror tool from, activate the mirror tool from here. Instead of faces I will just select features over here from here, and I will select this feature I want to mirror. Then I will select the mirror plane, and I will specify this mirror plane, and I will press OK. Here you can see now what we have to do is we have to combine these two bodies, because if you go inside this component and will expand the bodies, here you can see all the bodies are different now, right? But we want to combine this two body as one body and this two body as another body. So this we can do using this combine tool here you can see this is the combine tool. I will just activate the tool. I will select the components that I want to combine, and I will press OK. I will repeat the process on the other part as well. Here you can see, here it is. So the things has been combined. So the next thing is that we have to apply fillets on all the things. So I will activate the fillet tools. I will select all the necessary corners first. Here you can see I am selecting all the corners, and I will apply a fillet of 1 millimeter on these corners. Then I will click on this plus set here, and the other set I will select the inside edges. Here you can see, and these all four edges are just 0.5 millimeter of fillets. So here you can see, and I will press OK. So here you can see this thing that we had created, and this is how it looks like for now. So the next thing that we have to create a base here. Here you can see this is the base that we had created. So this way base we have to create now. So for that, what we can do, we can just click on the sketch here, create a sketch, then we can select the bottom of this part, and here you can see we are active right now. So now we can just activate our rectangle tool from here, and we can select the one corner and we can drag it like this. So here you can see the rectangle has been created, but I want this corner to be up to this corner. So for that, what I can do, I can activate this coincident tool from here. I can just, let me check, actually we want this extended portion on this side or on the other side. I think on both the sides we want. So for that, what I will do, I will just press Ctrl J to remove data sketch. I will again activate the tool. I will go to the bottom, and this time I will create a rectangle like this. Here you can see. And this time what I want is I want this side to be touching to this point. So I will activate the coincident tool. This is the constraint tool actually. I had activated that. I will select this point and this edge. Here you can see this point and this edge. So this way I had constrained on both the directions. And the next thing that we want is we'll apply the dimensions. So from this point I want this edge to be just 5 millimeters or maybe 10 millimeters, and on the other side we also want this to be 10 millimeters. So we'll select this edge and this edge, we want 10 millimeters like this. So now we are done with this thing. So we can just click on this finish sketch. Here you can see the sketch has been created. Now we can just extrude this complete area. I will just select all the profiles and will drag it like this, and will apply dimension of 4 millimeters because I want base to be just 4 millimeter thick. So I had kept it 4 millimeters only. So before doing that, I also want to create a whole sketch. So I will go back to our sketch. We'll make a right click on the edit sketch, and I will also create a hole over here because we had a hole, right? So we'll just check the hole. The hole is towards the this rubber band holding areas. So we'll make those holes on this direction. So we'll just make a circle over here of the hole size. So this we are going to keep the hole of 4 millimeter, and we'll make sure that this is along with the origin. So I will activate this, apply this horizontal vertical constraint between this point and this point, and I will also make sure that it is 6 millimeter away from the edge. So here it is. Now I can click on this finish sketch from here, and I will go on to the base over here like this. Then we'll activate the extrude tool. We'll select all the profiles that I want to extrude, and I will apply the extrude distance. So here it is. Here you can see the base has also been created. Now we'll apply fillets on all the four corners. So we'll activate the fillet tool. We'll select all the four corners from here like this, and we'll apply, give it a fillet distance of 5 millimeter or maybe 7 millimeters or maybe 8 millimeters. So I think will be 10 millimeters, right? So yeah, it is 10 millimeter. So this is how we had created the base. And the next thing that we had some stopper here. So we'll create that stopper. For that, we'll just activate the sketch from here, and we'll select the plane, this plane. Here we are. And what we can do, we can just offset this. We'll just select this edge, and we'll offset this edge by a distance of minus 3 millimeter like this, and we'll go to modify, and we'll extend this edges to the ends. Here you can see, and the moment I had applied extend on the offsetted line, here you can see the constraint has been removed. There is no constraint. The line is blue now. So to make it a constraint again, we can give it a measurement of 3 millimeter here using this dimension tool. So this way it is constrained back again. So now we are done with the sketching here, and we'll click on the finish sketch over here now, and we'll extrude this portion by maybe 3 millimeters like this, and we'll click on OK. Here you can see, and what I will do, I will just apply the fillets on this corners because I don't want the sharp edges. I want to minimize all the sharp edges, so I will just make it a 1.5. I think that will be enough. Okay, keep it 2. 2 is good, and we'll press OK. So here you can see this is the person we have, and if you see our design, it is also looking like this, but we have to apply few more fillets over here. So we'll activate the fillet tool, and then we'll select this complete thing, and we'll apply a fillet of 5 millimeter, 2 millimeters, like this. Here you can see now it is looking good. Now we want to make the base stronger, so we have to apply fillet on this corner, or instead of fillet, what we can do, we can apply chamfer. So we activated the chamfer tool. We'll select all the sides on which we want to apply the chamfer. So we'll select all the edges. Here you can see we are selecting the edges on which we want to apply the chamfer. So all the 6 edges has been selected. Now I can apply give the distance of chamfer. So I want a chamfer of 5 or maybe 4. So I want a chamfer of 4 millimeters. So I think it is correct now. And instead of 4, okay, 4 is correct. So it is equal distance chamfer. So it is looking good now. So I will just press OK. Here you can see the base has also been created. So here is our design. I think it has been completed. We had provided everything, and this file is now ready to 3D print. So what I can do, I will just activate all the parts is already active. Here you can see what I will do. I will turn on the top level assembly, then you will able to see the complete design. Here you can see, right? So this is looking something like this. Yeah, so what I can do, I can just turn off the phone dummy, and here you can see this is my design, and this is what I had 3D printed on my 3D printer, and now I am using this design with my tripod. So if you want to test this design, what you have to do is just go on to your components, make a right click and click on the save as mesh here, and then you can just select the format as STL, and you can just click OK to save your file as STL file. So here you can see I am able to save my component as STL file that we can use for 3D printing. So this way you can export all of your components, since these two parts are similar, so you can export any one of them and then the base part, and then you can 3D print on your 3D printer by slicing inside your slicer first, and you are ready to go. So guys, please tell me how was if this video was informative for you. So how was this video? Because if you like this video, then YouTube algorithm will understand us, okay, this video is very good, or this is some kind of valuable information. So it's really important you like my videos and subscribe to my channel, because I will keep creating contents like this that will be help you in your product design or product design learning processes. So thank you guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.